Kunzite is a stone about unconditional love and compassion. Before any of us can have compassion for others, we must have compassion for ourselves. And the same goes for love, whether unconditional or not. When we are judging ourselves, we're not being very compassionate of ourselves. When we are giving ourselves a hard time for making mistakes, creating randomly, or not moving forward, we are not showing ourselves compassion. True compassion is allowing ourselves to be where we are and be okay with it. That doesn't mean that we don't want improvements. That means that we accept where we are starting from so that we can take our first steps in the direction we want to go. True compassion doesn't necessarily need to see the reason why we are where we are. It just needs to accept where we are, knowing that everything that has brought us where we are is necessary. Working with Kunzite will start the awareness of where we really are on a myriad of subjects as we work with it. Then support us as we accept the reality of the platform we have to work with. Many times Kunzite comes to us just before we're about to make a very big move in our lives. A good time to take stock and know what we have to work with in our transition. Kunzite will emphasize the areas in our lives that we are being very successful in, as well as bring up other subjects that we don't feel quite as comfortable with. With the emphasis on success, it is much easier to look at some areas where improvements could be made and see very grounded ways to make adjustments. Kunzite is an extremely valuable tool for this process. As we're able to focus some of our attention on our success, we're able to hold the frequency of compassion for ourselves as we tackle some of the areas that we perceive as weak. Kunzite also has lithium in its chemical makeup. This is a mineral that has been used to treat depression as well as other things for hundreds of years. Using Kunzite helps us to focus on those things in our lives that are going right, those things we are good at, the things we feel comfortable with, and those things that help build our self-esteem and in turn our self-love. This is an excellent stone for teenagers. It helps balance out the negative thought patterns that they sometimes get into through friends or other influences. It helps keep them focused on achievements instead of failure, improvements instead of criticism. Kunzite is also a stone that helps us to see the best part of ourselves and expand on those areas within. As we realize our relationships with ourselves on many levels through the help of Kunzite, we are able to attain the freedom from the expectation of others. As we work with Kunzite, a very subtle shift that occurs is that we start caring more about what we think of ourselves than what others think of us. This is a huge step in turning towards creating ourselves instead of finding ourselves.